From the RCL Newsplex, I'm Jared Reimer, and here's the latest. Remember a few shows ago, we told you that Hall Communications had sold its Lakeland, Florida cluster to Mark Radio Group. If so, we can add another Hall cluster to the list of Hall Communications clusters that have been sold as of last week. This time, we're going to Providence, Rhode Island, where the company has sold its cluster there. The affected stations include country formatted Cat Country 98.1 WCTK, as well as classic hits formatted Big 101.3 WNBH, which transmits on a frequency of 1340 on the AM dial with its associated translator at 101.3 in New Bedford, Massachusetts. The two stations have been picked up by John Fuller's Red Wolf Broadcasting at a purchase price of $2.35 million. Red Wolf, as of today, March 16th, begun operating the stations by way of a local marketing agreement. Hall will continue to operate its 5-station cluster in Burlington, Vermont, as well as its 6 radio station cluster in Norwich, New London, Connecticut. This all comes on the heels of the company selling its Lakeland cluster to Mark Radio Group last month. Red Wolf plans to keep Cat Country 98.1 the way it is, with no changes to the programming or on-air lineup. Stay with Radio Connection Live and be sure to follow us on the social media platforms for any updates on what happens with Big 101.3. We move now to iHeartMedia, as iHeartMedia has officially launched its new TikTok radio station on 28 HD subchannels, as well as the iHeartRadio app. TikTok Radio ended its partnership with SiriusXM last fall, and iHeart says it will not only feature trending artists, but also familiar artists that people are familiar with as well. There will also be an accompanying podcast network to go along with the new station. We have all the details, such as an on-air schedule, plus how iHeart is celebrating the launch of this new station on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Radio Connection Live. Stay tuned to Radio Connection Live, as we will feature an air check of how TikTok radio sounds in a future show. What does Radio Connection Live's Jamie T have to say? He said, "I believe this is a great move for both TikTok as well as iHeart. The fact that the brand has moved from a paywall listening experience to a free listener experience means more ears will be on TikTok radio. I expect there to be additional TikTok formats such as country, for example. Stay tuned to Radio Connection Live for further updates." Finally, we end with some news that shouldn't surprise most of us. According to Nielsen Audio, the number of people listening to radio has skyrocketed from 244 million Americans to 277 million Americans, 12 and over, listening to the radio each week. Radio Connection Live host Jamie T believes that the fact that more teens and tweens and younger adults and many others are listening to the radio is a stark indication that radio has not, nor will it ever, outlive its usefulness. Despite what many critics have said about more listeners moving to paid services such as SiriusXM or social media platforms such as YouTube or TikTok, the fact that radio has had staying power for the past 100 plus years and has adapted to so many types of changing technology, it's still being a facet and a continuing growth of success. Well, radio fans, let's hear from you. Do you have a breaking radio news story for us? You can reach out to us on Facebook, the X app, or just drop us an email. Our email address is rclthepodcast@gmail.com. With your Radio Connection Live news brief, I'm Jared Reimer. Now, back to more stimulating radio talk with your host, Jamie T.